guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Emily and welcome to another Vlogmas video. I'm here with a very special guest, my husband David, and we're going to be wrapping some Christmas gifts and answering some of your questions. We're answering questions, right? Okay. So I don't know whose gifts we're wrapping. I think it's going to be whichever gift I find first under this mess. But we want the Christmas tree to look a little more festive, so we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping some more gifts. For the most part, between each other, we already know what each other got, and obviously we know what Lucas got. So there may be some family gifts in here, so if you're a family member and you don't want to know what you're getting, don't watch this yet. Alright, let's go. Now we're cooking with gas. So I couldn't find any Sesame Street wrapping paper or any Elmo Christmas wrapping paper, so I went with a Paw Patrol. I don't think you guys can see it, but it's like a Paw Patrol Christmassy wrap that I got from the Dollar Tree. The $1.25 tree. Alright. Let's look at one of these questions. Okay, so while I get myself situated, this is a question for you. While I get my life together here,
yes,
is a lot of people have been hearing about me, talk about the inflation and how it's affecting me. So they want to know, how are you dealing with the inflation? How is it affecting you in terms of your job and things like that?
The inflation is affecting me too. Like, just like Emily's been affecting me very bad. Not like very badly. Like obviously we getting by, but it just sucks that all these prices are going high and all that stuff. And I think I make pretty decent income for my job, but here in New York City where everything's expensive already and all the goods and services are going up, it's just crazy, like but I think it's no choice. I have no choice just to like cut down on certain things I don't need and try my best to live under our means as much as possible, because it's just this year has just been crazy with prices. But
yeah, I keep emphasizing that we live in the most expensive city in the world, and it's not like we moved here, we were raised here, and it's just getting to a point financially that it's like, okay, how long are we gonna do this? And rent goes up every year. And it's just like, I want Lucas to be near his family, because we're not a big family. So I want Lucas to be near his family. He has some cousins here. But all his grandparents are here. His great grandmother is in Dollar Tree tape. His great grandmother's in South Carolina. Is that where your grandmother lives? So it's like, we want to be close to everybody, but at the same time, it's like, what's going to be best for us and what's going to be best for him? A lot of people are telling us to move to Florida, and Florida is becoming little by little the new New York, because everybody from New York goes to Florida. And it's just, it depends. But little by little, we're getting to a point that New York is not where it's at.
Yeah.
Were we prepared to have a baby? And if so, what did we do to prepare? I mean, I feel like you can never prepare enough.
Yeah, I mean, same here. I feel like I feel like for the most part we got most of the things that we needed. We needed like as in like things to get, like crib, bassinet, and like gear and items. Yeah, I feel like we prepared for that. But I mean, it's tough, you can't never be 100% prepared. You just gotta be the most prepared as possible. I say definitely make sure you got all the stuff, like the bottles and the bassinet and the food and the clothes. Like the items you need to buy, I say definitely get those. But like emotionally, physically, that's a different challenge.
Don't go bottle crazy. Don't buy a bunch of bottles, because let me dial that back. Do everything in your power to take advantage of what's free to you. And I feel like I did a video of that, but if you need a video of like a recap of that, just comment down below. I could definitely make one. But I took advantage of everything free I can get, such as I got samples of formula for Lucas. I got free breastfeeding things. I registered us in multiple places, which you are allowed to do. I registered us in multiple places to get free goodie bags of samples of stuff to determine whether or not we liked something or didn't like something. But were we prepared? I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but we planned for our child. Our child wasn't some happy little accident. I mean, we did plan to have a child sooner, and then we miscarried. Ignore that, by the way. That's Nala trying to get out of her playpen. Because you can't do this.
Nala, she messed up the paper.
People feel that, like, you know, oh, you know, they just decided to have a baby. No, we planned for our baby, and we knew it was going to be expensive. There was a lot of things we learned at the end to help us save money. Like, for example, I got Medicaid for myself and Lucas so I can get WIC, which I personally feel should be available to every pregnant woman regardless of the income, but hey, that's none of my business. But that helped us a lot in terms of groceries. It still helps us now in terms of like baby food for Lucas. So I definitely feel you should use all the resources at your disposal. Don't automatically assume you don't qualify for something. Like, check everything.
Do we recommend combining finances in a relationship?
Good question.
That's a good question. I say, me personally, I say if you've been with someone for quite a long time, or definitely if you're married, or you're engaged, or, you know, if it's real serious, I say you should. I say you should. You know, obviously you just start dating someone. I think it'd be too soon, but I say, like, you know, if you're real serious, y'all engaged, you got definitely married, I say, you know, that you should. You have to keep each other accountable of, you know, what's being spent, you know, where it's going, and, you know, because when it's together, y'all are partners when it comes to finances. So, you know, both partners keep each other accountable of where things go.
I feel that you should definitely, before you're dating it, I mean, not before you're dating, but before you're engaged to anybody, before you're even thinking about going serious with somebody, and that includes living with them, I think you need to learn their spending habits. Because there was a lot of things that we learned about each other when we were already in the trenches of our relationship. And not necessarily saying, like, it was the be-all, end-all, but it put us through a lot of challenges in our relationship very early. Challenges that we probably didn't have to go through, but it's also a matter of taking account how we were raised and our relationship with money as children. I feel is definitely a factor, but we combine our finances. We didn't always. I feel like we started, when did we start? I feel like we started last year or the year before.
Yeah, I think we started it when we got engaged, around that time. Yeah,
so we've been doing it for about
2 years. About 2 years.
About 2 years, because we got engaged in August of 2020. So I would say about 2 years. It has its moments. One thing I will say is, do not have all your finances together, but then be kind of clocking each other. Like, don't, well, why are you spending $5? I mean, you want to clock each other, but you don't want to micromanage each other.
No, big purchases, like out of nowhere, not out of nowhere spending. I'm not saying like you get a Starbucks coffee and you tell your partner why you got a $4 Starbucks coffee.
No, like definitely no.
Like big purchases, like let's say like a couple $100, you know, out of nowhere. Like hey, you know. Especially
if you're both working. Because, like, if only one person's bringing in the income and the other person's doing all the spending, I feel like that's kind of crazy. But if you're both working and you're both bringing home a paycheck, I feel like you're entitled to spend money.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, again, like the $4 Starbucks coffee, I think that that's fine. Now, if it's every day affecting money for bills, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, always pay your bills first. Never get the coffee first. You know, pay the, if you're getting coffee, it's gonna make you late and not be able to pay a bill. Then I think you should not get the coffee.
Yeah, like you should definitely keep your priorities. Like
yeah.
For us, it doesn't matter what situation, what season we're in. Rent is priority. Like rent, we don't play with our rent money. Rent money don't get played with. We make sure religiously that rent is paid on time.
Things about our jobs. Why you answer that, I'm gonna grab you a present.
All right, I'll go first. I mean, I'll grab this one, baby. I mean,
yeah.
I talk from the time I get in to the time I leave. I literally talk all day. And it's hard being in a job like that because you kind of want to go home and not talk to anybody. And I know that's not ideal because I haven't seen my son all day. I haven't seen my husband all day. And I know couples that don't talk to each other at all. That they just sit on the couch and they don't talk. And I made a vow to myself that I wasn't going to be in a relationship like that because I feel like that's very unhealthy. You have to talk to your partner. You have to communicate. And that's the one thing I cannot stand about what I do for a living. It requires a lot of patience, which David feels I don't have a lot. But when you work in the field I do and you see what I do have a lot of patience for the questions that I'm asked and the personalities that I deal with. So I would say that's my thing. I don't like the fact that I talk all day. What's yours?
Mine is actually I kind of like the fact that it gets so slow because I work nights. Just in case someone knows, I work nights, so I like it because I sit down and just be on the computer and do emails and stuff. So it's chill, but sometimes it gets too chill and it gets boring, and yeah, it just gets boring sometimes. And also working nights, I think that's the biggest negative right now. Is working nights. I'd be so tired coming home, and if sometimes it affects me during the day, my days are nights, my nights are days, and I say that's the big thing about where I work right now. It's just the hours, pretty much. In the beginning, I thought I was okay, but after doing it for a couple of years now, it's starting to be a toll.
It takes a toll. That's a whole different lifestyle. And it's something that you could do, but I feel that the people that do it and like it will not be able to go backwards. Because my father is that way. He said he has like pros of working nights because he gets like the gym to himself and he has his whole day, but he said he can't go backwards now. Like it's a lot. It's a lot on the mental and it's a lot in like your quality of life too. Yeah,
it's definitely a lot of quality of life. It sucks, but I'm glad they cut my hours at least by one day. I have more time. I have more time with my family. It just sucked at that point when this first happened. But I'm like, well, if I work in days, it'll probably have been better. But yeah.
Oh, and quick disclaimer: I am not good at rapping. So, if you want to see somebody that's good at rapping, that is my mother. That lady is a freaking...
Well, she's better than me.
Genie. She's a freaking magician when it comes to rapping.
I'll be open to another baby.
Ha! I mean... So there's this superstition out there that if your kid kind of does like this downward dog position, they're asking for a sibling, and Lucas has been doing that for the past month. I would. I just have a lot of fears. Like, it was very hard for me to fully embrace and enjoy my first trimester because I was so scared of miscarrying again. And now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I knew that can happen going into my pregnancy, like my first pregnancy, but just the fear of going through it and all of that scared me. Like that's a very scary and real thing. Especially mine, I ended up having complications miscarrying, so I ended up having to have surgery. It was a whole thing. So I don't know don't miss that part, if that makes sense. Like, I'm still on the fence about having another baby.
Yeah.
Only because Lucas, at the age that he's in at this moment, he is a lot, and I feel like he's only gonna become more. That's not saying, you see me trying to use every scrap of paper, right?
Yeah.
That's not saying that we don't love him. That's not saying that we don't have patience for him. Like, we're crazy about him. It's just, you know, do we have enough in us to stretch ourselves to another child? We don't want to be those parents, and no shade to the parents that are, but the parents that are like, you know what, let's just get them one after the other, they'll be close together in age, we'll just get this done. I don't know if I want to be that parent, because a lot of those parents are exhausted.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want to do that, because I want to be able to give my kids my full.
Yeah.
And at the same time pour into myself, because I'm a person before I'm a mother. I always was. You know, and I don't want to be selfish and not have another, but at the same time, I don't want to be selfish and have another and take away from Lucas's cup. But we definitely need a bigger space. I think that's the determining factor.
Yeah.
If we could find a bigger space, still be close to family, still keep ourselves afloat, because
things are expensive. Yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, I'm on the fence with it too, but I think that's the determining factor too. A bigger place. I think that's the biggest factor. I say if you was in a bigger place, it'd be more easier to actually be leaning more towards having another baby. And yeah, like, you know, and I agree with you, like, you know, having one is a lot already. Like, having two, it'll really be tough. And, you know, same thing too, like, it's just, you know, it'll be a lot.
Lucas is in a stage of life right now that he's just trying to do everything at once. Like, I feel like he just started to understand the concept to crawl, and he's doing like this step crawl mix, but he's really trying to stand. Like, he's acting as if crawling is getting in his way, which there's nothing wrong with that. We want our baby to grow, but we have to have eyes, hands, feet, nose, and toes on that little boy at all times, because he'll go hang gliding somewhere, and then he'll be crying like, forget about it.
Favorite part about being a parent? Well, me, my favorite part of being a parent is just seeing that boy that we have just smile in the morning. Smile in the morning, like he could.
He's the happiest person.
He get me run for my money and stress me out and have me going crazy, chasing him around this house, or, you know, all the other stuff. But when that boy smiles, like, I forget everything else.
That's your favorite part?
That's my favorite part. Just having him smile, and yeah, seeing him smile. That's my favorite part. And also, you know, obviously take care of him, give him his baths, change his pamper and stuff. You know, the normal routine. I like that too, but nothing beats when I see that smile. Makes me a happy parent.
Mine, I have a few. So in terms of like Lucas personally, I love, and feel free to chime in, babe. I love how alike me and Lucas are. So when Lucas is hungry, Lucas doesn't complain. Like, he's a very happy baby, honestly. And we don't say that just because he's our baby. Like, he's very happy. But when he's hungry, he's the worst. Like, he is grouchy. He's, like, very difficult. His bath is his happy place, and I feel like that's something him and I share.
Yeah. Yeah, both love your baths. Yeah, relax.
Yeah, my bath is my happy place. It's the place that I go to think, and just zen out. But I want to also piggyback on the waking up in the morning, because he's just so happy in the morning. No matter what kind of night him and I have had, because I'm predominantly with him at night, because David's at work. But it's also more so when I come home from work, he could be giving David the most hardest time, like to eat, to play, and the minute he sees me, he gets like the shakes. Like, I'll be like, hi, Like, he's so happy to see me, and all of that goes away. So, yeah, it's the unconditional love for me. Like, at the end of the day, no matter what, he's happy to see you. Like, he doesn't care. And he's a good boy in terms of, like, his teething. You know, like, he'll complain, but he knows, like, it's temporary. Like, it sounds like we're talking him up, but we're really not. Like, you have to know him. He's just the happiest boy. My not so favorite part about being a parent?
Yeah. Me personally, I say time management.
In what way?
Like, I feel like you're more busy. I say in general, for me, I feel like more busy.
Why is this under a tree? Is this a gift to ourselves?
Let's get to ourselves.
Sure, I'll take this detergent.
Oh, that's how I know if inflation is bad when we have that.
I mean, look, it's still good detergent. I was not going to pay $15 for 2 little itty bitty gains. Not with the laundry we have in this house. I got this for $8. $8. It does over 100 loads, and it smells pretty good.
Yeah.
Pinch your pennies.
Is marriage tough?
You want to go first?
Yeah, marriage is not easy, guys. In case y'all don't know, it's not easy.
Is that over for me, baby? Please.
It's challenges and tribulations throughout the whole marriage. You know, like, it's tough. You know, it's very tough. And I say, as long as, you know, you love your partner and, you know, you are willing to make sacrifices and make, you know, you're both willing to make sacrifices and also able to agree on a middle ground, it's going to be okay, but it is tough.
That's definitely a big one, agreeing on a middle ground.
Yes.
Because there are very few times, I would say, in our marriage that we agree to disagree. And if we do, it's on very little things. Like the other day, we were agreeing whether or not something looked like an umbrella stroller. And we were like, okay, we're going to agree to disagree. You know, like little stuff like that. I think marriage is tough, but I also think it's very rewarding. I feel like you learn new things about each other. I feel that things change a lot. I don't think we ever spoke about, I mean, if we have time at the end of this video, we could talk about it, our wedding day. But I feel like we, at least for me, I didn't anticipate our relationship changing after we got married. I'm like, oh, I've been with this man for X amount of years. This relationship ain't changing. I'm good.
Well, we could, after you finish, we could just jump into the next question about getting married, change our relationship. So we can jump to the next question.
Yeah, I would say this kind of coincides with both. I mean, it does change. I feel like you learn more about each other. I mean, one thing I will say that was a reality check for me with marriage is, and I mean, it's nothing out of the norm. Couples argue, and we would argue, and I would be like, okay, I'm not going to talk to this man for 2 days. Or, okay, I am not going to answer my phone. Okay, I'm not going to come over, because at the time I didn't live here. No, that doesn't exist with a marriage. I mean, you could go have a drink with the girls, have a drink with the guys, but you're coming home to this person, especially if you have a child. So that's one of the things it took me some time to adjust. Thank you. I'm over here like... Alright. My handbag for me. Wait, bro.
Sorry.
Can you put the end for me? That was decent. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely. Oh, look at that! Right on the button. Who is she? That was an adjustment for me because there are times that he makes me angry, and I'm like, you know what? I want to be out, and I'm like, oh, my cat, my son, my house, my clothes, my shoes. So it's definitely an adjustment. I feel like it makes things easier. Yeah. I really, our wedding vows were, we didn't do our own vows, but our wedding vows were not traditional, better for work, sickness, and health. It was like, I don't remember it word for word, but it was like to be his shoulder, to be his friend, to be his partner through life. And when you really think about those things, it's like, duh, Emily, that's marriage. But it is tough. But I guess we can go into the next one. What was the next question? About marriage?
Getting married, change our relationship.
Pass me the scissors. Go ahead.
Did it change our relationship? I think it's still kind of like rolling into the last question, like tough, like the change of relationship. I think there's more at stake, so there's more at stake when you have problems, stuff like that, because there is a marriage, there is a child. So yeah, I guess you could say yes. I can say it's in a good way, but because there's more at stake, and things go wrong. There's just more, Yeah.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
The marriage change our relationship. And I think it goes back to kind of first question. Like, I guess it could change because things get tough, and fights, and
let me tell you something.
More things at stake. That's how I feel.
And this may be a tangent, and I apologize if it is. That's why I kind of wanted David with me at the rap chat, because I feel like I could go on tangents for days. Nala's hair be all over the place. This year was kind of hard for us. I mean, it was the most rewarding year of our lives because we got to watch our son, grow. But this year, in terms of finances, a child's first year is very expensive. And while we've had a lot of support from family, a lot, like grandparents, aunts, uncles, they have come through and they have helped us a lot. But David and I were not sure as to whether or not we would be wrapping X amount of gifts for Lucas, because there was talks about David's hours getting cut. I had to pay some benefits back to my job because they covered our benefits while we were on leave. So we were really contemplating Christmas this year because, not saying that we wouldn't do for our son, which we always find a way to do.
It was just going to only be our son, and us will have to just either wait or
no.
Or maybe just a card or something. I think that's how tough it was getting a little, like,
it was difficult.
It was difficult.
It was difficult, and let me tell you something. When it comes to our marriage, one thing I would say about David and I is we always find a way, whether it's just whatever or whomever is in the universe guiding us, or it's just our relationship. Like we have been through some things together, some things that unfortunately a freshly new dating couple shouldn't go through, but they do go through. And honestly, we lean on each other. There are times that I'm at my worst, and there are times David's at his worst. It just so happens that we're not at our worst at the same time. And that's what helps us balance each other out. But we went through a rough patch in terms of like a season. Like, we've had our problems. What couple doesn't have their problems?
Every couple has problems.
We have had our problems. We are not perfect.
There's no perfect, there's no couple out there that doesn't have like issues or disagreements, stuff like that, And
depending on who you ask, they'll still consider us newlyweds. David and I have been married for like
over a year now. We going what, September?
Like a year and 3 months? A year and 2 months?
Yeah, because
3 months.
It's only a year and 3 months, like in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people feel that we got married because I was pregnant. Because I was pregnant at our wedding. Not the case. We were engaged before.
It was engaged, and what happened was COVID happened. So everything shut down. So City Hall was shut down.
We never wanted a big wedding.
Yeah, we didn't want a big wedding. I mean, you have to go to City Hall anyway, regardless of if you get married or not. I mean, you get married, whatever you get married, you still got to go to City Hall regardless. But we wanted just a nice, nice simple wedding. Just immediate family, and nothing too big.
I wrapped this pretty good.
Good shit. Yeah,
Look at me. He's gonna destroy it anyway. I feel like he's not gonna open all these. I mean, maybe.
We'll figure it out.
If not, sure, I will open it. But I gotta label who's for who, even though he's not gonna read it because I will lose track.
Yeah, but long story short, like, you know, COVID happened, so everything was shut down. So during COVID, we couldn't really, you know, you couldn't really get, you know, you couldn't get married because they did like the virtual one. But so after a while, me and Emily was talking. We like, well, you know, if we want to get married, we might as well do it. We might as well, you know, do the virtual, get the license virtual, and then, you know, get married. So I was like, you know what? I want to do this. You want to do this, and we just went with it. It was like, you know what? We get the marriage license virtually, and then we'll go, you know, go anywhere we need to in the state. And we went to Westchester County and got married there. It
was literally us calling judges, asking them if they wanted to marry us.
Yes.
And that judge, oh my goodness, he's a god. He is to this day a godsend. Like,
yeah, he's
the sweetest man. He said that he loved marrying us because he said, you know, for a living he puts people away for their crimes.
Yeah.
So to marry us was like refreshing for him. It's something, you know,
he
doesn't get to do too often.
Yeah, he said this part of the job that kind of makes him happy. Yeah, that's how you can kind of say. Kind of makes him happy. They say, you know, this is like something that makes him happy because it's actually something good that he's doing, except for just putting people in jail. So it was kind of nice he shared that. He
read us a beautiful poem before he married us.
Yeah,
he helped us take our wedding pictures. We have beautiful wedding pictures. I actually have a ton of coupons with Shutterfly. I was thinking of making us a wedding album because we have beautiful pictures.
Mm-hmm. And for him to be a judge, to him to like read vows, that was kind of.
We weren't expecting that.
We thought he was going to be like, okay, all right, stand right here.
Bada bing, bada boom.
All right, but I stay in New York. I pronounce your husband and wife. All right, see ya.
No, he read vows.
Yeah, he read vows. Yeah.
He explained what it is to be married, and then the poem alone was making me cry.
Yeah, the poem was very emotional.
The poem was beautiful. Mm-hmm. It just goes to show, like, there's a saying out there, like, what I love the most about our relationship is our story, something like that. And it's just like, it's so true because we have been through a lot together, and I don't feel marriage is for the faint of heart. I definitely feel it takes work. It doesn't seem like it, but there's a big difference between somebody's boyfriend and being somebody's husband.
Oh, yeah.
There's a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Like, it's one thing to be like, hey, I want to marry you, blah, blah, blah. It's one thing to say it. It's
oh, yeah. It's, yeah. You know, it's a big commitment when you do it. That's why when you watch that show, Love is Blind, people don't be going through with it.
Oh my goodness, have y'all been watching Love is Blind? Yeah. We're about to start the 3rd season, but we just finished the 2nd season. Who's your favorite couple the 2nd season?
Second season? The 2nd season, I mean, it ended up not working out for anybody. Nobody got, the 2 people got married, got divorced. But, I don't know.
I was never okay.
I really wanted Natalie and this guy to work out.
I don't remember.
Shane, I think it is.
Yes, Shane. Yeah. I wanted them to work out. You know which couple I never liked? I never liked Jarrett and what's her name? Ileana? God, what was her name?
Ileana.
It was Jarrett and oh my goodness, the girl with the short hair. His second choice. Because he really liked
the Spanish one.
He really liked Mallory, but the girl he ended up marrying.
Oh, I forgot her name now.
I feel like her name is, gosh, I don't remember her name. But I didn't like their relationship because I didn't like the fact that she was his second pick.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was kind of forced. I feel like he didn't want to be with her. I feel like
I feel like he wanted Mallory more, but you know, most of the people did have these 2 strong connections. So I mean, maybe he did feel stronger for Mallory, and she turned him down. So
yeah, but you know what? I don't like that Mallory was getting ready to marry Sal when Sal had such insecurities about their relationship.
Yeah, he was too worried. He was too worried about Jared, and I'm like, I mean, I understand when they all met each other.
Because Jared was disrespectful.
Yeah, he was going in, and I was like,
I was death staring David the whole time. I was like,
yeah,
I want you to sit here and agree with this because we're gonna fight, because it was totally disrespectful.
Yeah, it was just definitely gotta watch it, but you know, that's the thing about being married is tough. Like, these people are trying to do it within 2 weeks. So like these people are trying to do it within 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks of getting married. So I mean, most of it, you know, obviously, you know, just because of the time frame, most of it is gonna fail. It's just how it is. Like nobody's gonna really get married within 2 weeks, but it is interesting that there are people who stay married the first season, but this season nobody stays married. You know. Yeah,
they all ended up getting divorced.
They all ended up getting divorced after the show. So.
Oh gosh, what was that freaking guy's name? Shake. Shake was a scumbag. Like Shake, and the way he treated DP, he was a scumbag. Like he was all about looks from day one, and the fact that I thought he was going to be one of those people that they show at the beginning of the show, and then later on you just don't see them anymore. Because he was all about looks. He was trying to find out everybody's looks. Talking about, you think I'll be able to pick you up?
Pick you up, like. And the show is not about that. Like, the show is about, like, you know, making an emotional connection. The physical connection will come after the emotional connection. Then
he's sitting here talking about at the reunion. Oh, the only person here I'm attracted to is Vanessa Lachey, Nick Lachey's wife. When Nick Lachey's sitting right there, and you could tell that
he was mad though.
It got to a point that she was like, okay, because she saw him getting mad, like.
Yeah.
Which I think is any partner's reaction. Like, I feel like I would be doing the same thing to you.
He's mad he was left at the altar. He's mad he was left at the altar.
I was so proud of her.
Yeah, he acted like he didn't. He acted like he wasn't mad, but he was mad.
I was so proud of her because I honestly thought she was gonna go with a lot of women do. There's something wrong with it, but I can understand it. The insecure woman approach, like, you know what? I have a man that's saying he loves me. I don't want to be left. I'm just going to say yes. She was like, no, I'm choosing me. And that's all she kept saying. And that's why her mother could not stop crying, because she was like, I choose me. And I was like, go deep. Yeah. But she's going to end up with,
Yeah, it looks like she'll end up with the atheist guy. What's his name? I forgot his name now.
Oh my God, I don't remember his name neither. It's drawing a blank. Because, we binge watched it. I feel like we saw one episode one day and then we saw the rest.
Yeah.
The very next day. David and I be trying to binge things before he go to work, and it almost makes him late. So.
Yeah. Alright, the final question. Do we feel having a baby change our marriage?
Dad.
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah on it, because having a baby is tough too, and especially the first 3 months, that first 3 months where, like, you gotta get up every 3 to 4 hours, non-stop, changing pampers, stuff like that. I said that is the toughest part in a marriage, is because you're just consistently worrying about that baby. Y'all relationship is in the back burner for that first 3 months because y'all just tired. It was literally just get up. As soon as the baby go down, like, all right, time to go to bed, time to lay down, and it was just like that for the first 3 months. During that whole leave, it was mostly just doing that. As time passed, things got better because the baby started to sleep a little longer. The baby started, like, you know, everything started getting better, and I felt like with our relationship, that got better because there was more time to, you know, enjoy each other, just chill. The baby would just chill. And, you know, we would have to just, you know, to do the normal routine. But I say definitely the first 3 months of Lucas' life really test our relationship, because all we was doing was just sitting, laying down, getting up, laying down, getting up, laying down. Because, you know, it was every 3 hours. And the screams and the cries and yeah. But I don't do all that. I don't regret it. But I say definitely the first 3 months was the toughest.
I feel it was the toughest. I feel it changed our marriage. But I feel like for me, a lot of it was fueled with what I didn't know was postpartum. I always thought that postpartum was just me missing having the baby in my belly. That's not all that postpartum is. David would do things that are not even that serious, and I would go, lack of a better term, ape shit. I would lose my mind. Like, there was one time he was holding Lucas, and he fell asleep on the couch. Don't rip it. And I damn near lost it. Like, we would get into stupid arguments all the time. We got into stupid fights. It was a lot on me because my milk didn't come in right away, and I was stressed about my milk. But if you're stressed about the milk won't come. So there was that. And I'm literally wrapping this with scraps. And it was hard. It was very, very hard. Again, I don't regret it at all. I miss Lucas being that small, but I don't miss him getting up as often as he did. And then it was like so many things like clustered together. The milk allergy, the quote-unquote colic, you know, it was just so much at once. But again, it's memories that like forever I'll have. Like I don't have any regrets, but it was hard. Like I remember blatantly asking my mother, like, one day, like, if David and I break up, can I come back and live with you? Because I didn't know what was going to happen. All I knew is that I had this baby, and I mean, I knew my mother wasn't going to say no, but... She's like, yeah, come, what? The way they love Lucas, forget about it. But it'd be like I wasn't even there. They'll be like, the baby could come. No, but I didn't know what was going to happen. Part of me was like, what the hell did I do? Having this baby with this man when he's doing A, he's doing B, he's doing C. But in actuality, it was just postpartum, and it was being a new parent, and it was just the stress. The stress and the sleep deprivation, it gets to you. You think if you're up all night playing Call of Duty, you'll be good to take care of a baby. Nah. It's not the same thing.
And me, I like to rate night a lot, and
a lot of people feel like, oh, I stay up all hours. I got this in the bag. No.
Nah. Definitely gets easier as time passes.
Oh, it does. Like now, that little boy, he tries me. He tries me a lot at night. He does.
But he's been pretty good though. I mean, he would have a hard time going to sleep here and there, but once he's asleep, he's asleep. And then maybe I think because his growth spurt and all his milestones and his teeth was trying to come out. He gets up once, in the middle of the night,
Yeah, the time he gets up at the middle of the night varies. It's weird. Because there was one day that he went to bed like at 10 o'clock, but he got up at 1 o'clock. And I was like, why are you up? Like, so, it depends. But it had its challenges. It definitely had its challenges. Here is the final piece. I am done. I still have a few things coming in the mail for other people, like little trinkets and stuff, and I have Nala's gifts coming, which I'm still gonna wrap because yes, I'm that mother. But it looks beautiful. I'm so happy with our tree. Everything is so pretty. Cannot wait for Lucas's first Christmas. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending the night with us. Don't forget to like, comment, share, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. That way you'll be notified of all the latest here at EP Life. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.